Hey, my name is Brady. I'm the managing director of the Next Chapter Institute and a big Liverpool fan. We just won their first title in 30 years. No big deal. Anyways, that's not what we're here to talk about. I actually want to walk through a donation and landing page case study with some tips and tricks and ways that you can improve your donation page. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen here so you can actually see some of this. And we're going to walk through an actual case study with an actual nonprofit that made a bunch of different changes to the donation page. So here's the starting point. This is what their page looked like. And the question that they ask, or that you should be asking all the time, is what can I do to improve this page? So what would you do to improve this page? You can talk into the screen, I won't hear you, but what would you do to change this page? Well, here's what they actually did. So starting point here, the first thing that stood out is what's the message? It says donate and then tax deduction, but there's really not a lot in there that lets me know why my donation is needed today, what it'll actually do for this organization. So what if we actually just added a little bit of copy and text to say, here's why a donation is needed and what it will do. Then we get into a little bit of the design of the page. Why do we need all these navigation links about training, whatever? This takes us away from the donation page. I clicked to go to the donation page. So let me focus on the donation page. So get rid of that. Sometimes we add in these delayed giving options. You know, you can give by this, or give by this, or give by this, or write us a check. And maybe there's a way to do that, but in general, I'm here to make an online gift. Let me make my online gift. So maybe we can remove these delayed giving options. And then this side-by-side approach maybe makes sense to a designer, but not how we actually interact with landing pages. We go down linearly. So when you actually look at this page, you go down information, you go up, and then you go back down again for contribution, and then back down to the middle to donate. So what if we just actually made this more of a side, instead of a side-by-side approach, let's bring those two things together here, voila, so that it's linear. It's gonna do that on mobile anyway. So just have this nice linear progression. Now, there's a lot of gift buttons, and they're also pretty small. They're not radio buttons, which are really bad, but they're still pretty small, which makes it hard to choose, especially if you've got thicker, chunkier fingers like me. So what if we actually take these small buttons and actually make them a little bit bigger, which will be great for people on mobile devices in particular. All right, so now you can see how the page is developing, but there's still quite a few options. There's a lot of stuff around gift arrays, but in this case, they said, what if we actually just limit the amount of options down to 3, reduce some decision friction, and to make it even easier for someone to choose a donation. Let's pre-select one, that's $100, which is higher than their average online gift. So you always want to nudge and anchor up, not nudge and anchor down. Then we get into the actual paying side of the form, where you put in your information and your credit card. So first, do we really need to require phone or require some of these extra fields? If not, let's just remove those things. Let's make it look nice, group form fields, use horizontal space so it looks easier, it flows easier. And then when we get into the payment information section as well, how do I know that my information is secure? Maybe there's a lockbox up in the top left of the page, or maybe there's a security seal somewhere buried in the footer, but I want to know that my credit card is secure right when I'm putting in my credit card. So let's visually reinforce how secure that part is. And if there's a way to get rid of CAPTCHA, let's do that as well. And then you can see here, they also changed the language on the donate button. Instead of being donate, which is better than submit, but it's still kind of cold, they moved it to make my gift. So when you kind of add this all up, you can see all the different changes that they made, and they're trying to add these value factors on the right versus the original treatment. So you've got copy, you've got design, you've got selection, you've got security. There's a bunch of different things that they did here to optimize and improve the donation page. And the result, 135% increase in donations, 87% increase in average gift. So if you get more donations and more on average, that equals a lot more revenue. So 340% increase in revenue from this experiment by optimizing and improving different parts of the donation page. So hopefully you found a few little tips and tricks in there. And this is actually something that we're going to take a whole day and dive into to unpack, like, why did we actually make those changes? Try to step inside the mind of a donor. Look at what other nonprofits, colleagues and peers, as also we make hundreds of donations every year to look at what are charities actually doing on their donation pages, good, bad, and otherwise. And we bring that into a full day of training. And so I'd like to invite you to come to this training. It's happening on July 1st, Canada Day. So I'll be wearing some Canada gear to celebrate. But July 1st from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Central, we're going to dive through how to address intention and interest from donors and people that visit your landing pages. Then we'll go over email acquisition pages, donation pages, campaign pages, instant donation pages, how to write a value proposition. This is going to be all done in virtual on Zoom, so we'll have different breakouts. We'll have time where you can actually look at pages and do some of that live optimization yourself. So I'd love for you to join us July 1st. You can find out more at nextafter.com/virtual-workshop, nextafter.com/virtual-workshop. I hope to see you there.